Good evening, Randomaniacs, and welcome to Cooking with Caleb and Dr. Funkin. I am Dr. Funkin, and today I baked a lovely loaf of Hokkaido milk bread. Caleb, how was your cooking today?
Pretty good, Dr. Funkin. I got a loaf of babka proofing in the oven right now. I made a spicy kung pao shrimp for dinner. Tonight on Cooking One Randomania, we're going to see crab cakes, a Maryland specialty. I'm a Maryland local, along with Zen0bian, friendly baker in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, playing in Game 2 of their brackets match here in the 2020 Spring Tournament. This is going to be an exciting race.
It certainly is, and as you can see, we've got a real special party to start it off. In this draft, Zen0bian got first pick and picked a red mage, after which Crab Cakes picked a nun and a white mage, and Zen0bian decided to make it interesting by picking a black mage, so we have a nun rainbow tonight.
Yeah, the empty rainbow is going to be a lot of fun to see how this plays out. We will have access to all of the magic. Whether or not it's promotion locked or not, we'll see as we start entering the magic shops early on, especially the white magic shops early. Gonna have a little bit of issues possibly with these fiends are visited when we get to the end game, with this party being able to survive those high roll nukes, and if we get double blasted by nuclears or infernos, things could be pretty bad.
Absolutely, this could be this is a pretty squishy party in general. So if Topher gets nasty, we could be in for a long night.
Oh yeah, I have a cup of tea. I can pause it and go get some more if I need it. But my caffeine's kicking in slowly. I just dropped the gate, so we're gonna see our runners off and running here shortly.
And there they go. Zen0bian and Crab Cakes both off to the races. Zen0bian checking the armor shop real quick. Silver bracelets are a good find. We've got life, I think.
Life 2,
Fast
Ice 3.
and Law, Ice 3, nice.
Yeah, that's really good magic starting out early. Double sweepers with the Ice 3, Life 2 backing up for 2 casters, and you can kind of mix it up with either fast or lock on one or both of those red and black mages. We don't know if we're going to get lock 2, but you know, that's not a bad spread, especially when you think of those end-game fights with what those level 1 spell charges are really going to be for. You're going to use them for Ice 3 on the Fiends? Probably not. You're probably going to be using them for fasts and locks. So
absolutely. And when it comes to those endgame Fiends, the difference between lock and lock 2 isn't really much of anything, and these imps are punching pretty hard right out the gate.
Well, they're also rubbing, so you might want to find a keep your hands to yourself spell. Maybe get some A-rub action going. But those are some pretty handsy imps.
Certainly are, but Crab Cakes went ahead and looks like she might be leaving her white mage down. Oh no, she did pick it back up.
Oh man, I've missed doing commentary when the runners immediately make you into a liar. Alright, Ice 3 is going to be a wonderful spell to have, and it's the only spell in the game that can roll over 400 damage. So that's a wonderful thing to have at your disposal.
Yeah, especially when you got imps trying to cast Rub on you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like both of our runners are making their way up to... Oh god, poor Zen0bian! Making their way up to Temple of Fiends. Crab Cake's not even checking the chest, going straight at Garland's dome with some Ice 3.
Yeah. I don't hate to play. Let's see how many spell charges we got to get through. Yeah, well, just the one Ice 3 is enough to do it. Pop out, drop that cabin. Now we can open these boxes.
Absolutely, and let's see what we got. So we got 400G, not really anything impressive so far. Zen0bian making his way up to the northern chests. We got another small amount of gold and another small amount of gold. They might keep this, considering it's so early, and you do need every last gold piece this early in the game, but it's not what you're hoping to see in those first 3 chests.
No, but 2,000 gold is pretty good. I mean, the thing with the mage party is you're going to need a lot of money. So 20,000 or 2,000 gold, that'll get all of our spells in level 2 and possibly level 3.
Ooh, Slab and Oxyale, those are some Those are definitely some early game key items that are great for the early game.
Well, we might find ourselves funneled into the Sea Shrine, so we got to
Very
find.
true. We got shuffled towns, so for all we know, they could be heading over to Provoca, which could be on rack.
That's right. I forgot. So this is my first time calling a race with the bracket flags. I'm so used to we got Melmon, so we could turn that slab in right away. I'm so used to the Swiss flags. I forgot we have Shuffle Towns and Tri-State Canoe and Floater. So that slab actually might be pretty handy. If it all depends on where the Lefane is shuffled to. So the Shuffle Towns and Echo of Swiss 2019, early chain armor, nice pickup there for the red mages. Throwing 15 absorb there.
Also, notable level 5 magic was Cake and Quad X at black and Invis 2 at white.
We've got Gloomchew in chat hanging out saying if Provoke and Elfland are airship locked, this could be a rough seed, and you are not wrong. All things considered, though, until we find that canal, it all depends on what's here in Elfland. Like, if this is Gaia, I think Gaia would probably be the worst town to find here in Elfland.
Yeah, you're probably right. Because Gaia currently is nothing. We don't have a bottle, so it's just level like 7 and 8 magic that we can't cast.
And just not, yeah, that's a reset. So yeah, not too much of Matoya's Cave. Found about $2,800, and hey, it's a Sea Shrine.
Not too surprising considering we found Oxyil that early. And oh, there's our vendor item. The loot is there for 47,000 gold. Kind of expensive, but also not a priority to buy it right away. You know where the loot is, and you know you're not going to have to hunt it down.
So we have a question from Zen0bian in chat. They've heard it mentioned a lot, but they don't really understand what Tri-State Canoe and Floater means. So, Cyan, if you go to the website, the FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, and you check out all the different options, you'll notice when you start clicking on things on the website, it'll click from an empty box to a check mark. If you click it again, it turns into a question mark, like a Super Mario block, and it's just kind of spinning there. That is a Tri-State flag. That means that it could be on, it might not be on. So it won't be decided until that seed is rolled. And once that seed is rolled, and we had Blaze in the Sea Shrine for CC, so
yep,
that's unfortunate.
As far as these flags matter, what Tri-State does is currently we have 4 loose items, one of which is guaranteed to be the canal. Because we have tri-stated whether the canoe and the floater are incentivized, that means that they are more likely to be loose than the other key items.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's basically 50-50 that one of the 3 loose items outside of the canal are going to be the canoe or the floater. The only way we'll know for sure that they're not shuffled loose is if an NPC turn in or an incentivized treasure chest, such as the box in the ordeals or the ice cave, reveals the canoe or the floater. That means that they were turned on as incentives, and then one of our other items is going to be kicked loose, like our Thor hammer, like our opal bracelet, like our power gauntlet. So, finding an incentivized canoe or floater is actually ideal here. So we get a hooray as we find a pair of swords in the dwarf cave for Zen0bian.
Yeah, and Giant Sword isn't too bad. I mean, it's a free weapon. You might want to swing with that red mage just to save some spell charges.
Yeah. Yeah, Giant Sword's not terrible. It's a good mid-game sword. Or I'd say mid-tier, not mid-game.
Yeah, for mid-game, you're hoping for more like an Ice Sword, or, most preferably the Sun Sword, though that could pretty much be an endgame sword if it has to be.
Yeah, if we were playing with the wonderful beta option of random weapon and armor bonuses, that Giant Sword, if it rolled +5, that could be pretty good.
Crabcake, since we don't have much in the way of early magic, going ahead and buying some silver bracelets for her party.
It's a good play. I like it. That's basically chain armor for the mages with better evasion.
Yep. And she's moving the white mage to the front.
White mage tank strats. You gotta love it.
Yep.
So let's see what the level 7 and there's that keep your hands to yourself spell.
I don't imagine we're going to be casting that anytime soon. And we got Saber and Lit 3 at level 7.
Less than ideal.
Yeah, luckily they're not, like, super vital spells, so we're not worried about... It's not stuff that we mind necessarily having locked out.
Alright, Zen0bian coming into the Sea Shrine off the hard reset. Let's see if he finds those Gurnagas with the...
Blaze.
And the cremate, too.
You just find some sea snakes with stun touch and hold.
Just to make sure that you weren't going anywhere. They're going to try to hold you down.
And dark.
So, Dr. Funkin, we have the entirety of the Sea Shrine laid before us to dig out that loose canal. We also have everybody's favorite cave, the Marsh Cave, available, because we're not...
I'm team always Marsh.
Yeah. Sucker.
Especially at this level, when we have already seen, you know, those awful water nagas.
Yeah. And they're unrunnable. So.
They're unrunnable, and they've got Blaze, and yeah.
They don't have a whole lot of health, though, so it's pretty good. Yeah, here we go. Trench Warfare from Zen0bian. So we get the fight, we get some levels, we run out. I was about to ask this question, and Zen0bian answered it for me. If you sort of go in, go out, go in, go out, just sort of get those levels and get up to about level 10 where you have a little bit more health, and then make your dive to that mermaid side, because I'd imagine that's where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, just from a chest density perspective, and the fact that you're more likely to get out of there safer because it's a quicker check.
Now, these runners might not realize it because I haven't rolled a seed in a while, but I did roll this seed, so it's more likely the thing's in Marsh. If things happen the way they usually do when I practice.
Look, I've been around this community enough to know that if Caleb rolls the seed, you go to Marsh.
Wishful thinking. They're hoping that that's not the case. But these Wissahags, Redsahags, it's a nice fight too. And there's some big money. That's a couple pieces of silver bracelets right there.
Yeah, 6K, that'll take care of you if you haven't already bought those.
This absolutely paralyzing Sea Shrine. Sharks with crack and gaze. So Zen0bian just continues to bounce off this Sea Shrine.
Yep. Crabcake's got a nice hero run here, all the way up to mermaids.
Hey, Vendor Sword. Silver Hammer, Silver Bracelet. Left side is top floor Sea Shrine, just a saber, so...
Unrunnable Gershark.
And those can roll pretty high for HP.
We've got a lot of unrunnable garbage in this Sea Shrine.
So a little heal hat and about 57k or 5700 here in the slab room. Got a few more boxes to open. 50 gold. Another one of those 6600, 60 gold.
More money, Iron Shield. That heal helm might actually be kind of useful this early in the game, simply because it's a way to keep the party up and rolling.
Coral Sword will be nice for the red mage to swing in here, but we're getting a lot of money. There's a white shirt, so got a lot of money between the Opal Shield, the heal helmet, and the katana. That might be enough to get us that loot, although we don't really need to buy the loot right away unless we're that in much of a rush to get that 5% XP.
Very true. Crabcake's making an extra door for us.
Love it. She loves doing those door glitches. It's good to see that this shark pack is runnable, though. The double Gur shark.
Yeah, it's good that the double Gur shark, since you got crack on that, and Crabcake's making yet another door for us. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, she's gonna try to do it every time. So Zen0bian making the adjustment, the veteran move, if you will, to go to Marsh Cave, because there's nothing worse than feeling unproductive in dungeon exploration. So if you find yourself bouncing off a dungeon, go somewhere else if you can. And there's not as many boxes here in Marsh, but it's much easier to clear, and we can get some money, we can get some better equipment, we can get some better items, maybe grab a couple levels, increase that survivability just by a little bit by clearing this out.
Certainly a possibility. And there's the loose canal in Marsh, just as we anticipated, just as Caleb rolled it up.
Now, ways that this could blow up in Zen0bian's face. CC digs out a loose canoe here in Sea Shrine and finds Floater and Crescent Lake. Or Zen0bian's off to the races and there's nothing here in Sea Shrine.
Yeah, so if Crabcakes gets out of here, doesn't find anything else on the mermaid floor and the floor before mermaids, do you think she also heads to Marsh Cave, or do you think she dives deeper into sea?
I think she would do left side. I don't know if she would feel comfortable going on to Kraken. I mean, she does have the white shirt. I mean, it's CC. So you've got fast. It depends on what we find in the rest of the boxes, honestly. But we could see her do Kraken side and maybe leave the Fiend fight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. Meanwhile, Zen0bian going ahead and clearing out the bottom of Marsh as well.
There is a question in chat from Sports Hefe and Jonathan Yoshi talking about the draft strategies here because CC brought a nun. So the way the drafts work here in the brackets, you can draft a nun if both parties agree to it. So you can only draft one nun. So you won't ever end up with a solo party unless you choose to put the other person down.
Oh wow, Crabcakes reset out of sea and is going to Marsh.
So in the draft room, Zen0bian's like, yeah, that's fine for you to draft one nun. I'm not going to draft one. So they consented to a 3-person party in the SRL room. So you couldn't, and there's a loose cube in Marsh.
Marsh stacked tonight.
So you can't end up with a party less than 2. It feels like people forgot that Marsh was my favorite place to go. So I'm happy.
Smidge. Zen0bian figured it out quicker. I almost wonder, because Zen0bian didn't really even try to go to Mermaid side, if he just was trying to get some early XP to make a Marsh dive safer.
Yeah. And Evil McNasty, Evil J McNasty in chat brings up a good point. Once CC gets her canal, she may dip out and orphan the bottom of Marsh.
It's entirely possible, but, you know, we're not going to know until we see.
Yeah,
you know, for her sake, I hope she doesn't, because that could be brutal, leaving the cube behind here.
Mm-hmm. And now there's nothing too nasty in Marsh that would preempt her to leave, but she's going to breathe a little sigh of relief here, having found that canal. But
yeah, I think she might go to the basement simply because we still have 3 more loose items at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely the heads-up play, but in a tournament whose entire theme is structured around gambling, you know, you got to know how you're going to gamble in these plays. So
you certainly do, and we know, you know, we have the vision to see that the gamble of doing the bottom of Marsh is the one that pays off, not the one of skipping it.
Yeah. All right, moment of truth for CC. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Yep, looks like Crab Cakes is leaving that cube behind for now and heading out to this out of the inner sea and into the greater world.
So let's talk about silver linings. At least it's a loose cube and not a loose loot or a loose key. Cube will keep her from having to dig through like full clear sky, I guess. So, and
That's true.
question from Anthony Nelms third. He's thinking Cece is probably thinking, I have my canal. There are a lot more boxes in the left side of Sea Shrine than there are. And there's a lot more boxes in the rest of the world than what, the 7 in the bottom of March? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 that they have access to, so. Uh-oh. But she's back into Sea Shrine, so we'll see where she's going. Maybe to get back down to Mermaid side to get that gear out of there.
Entirely possible. Oh, no, she's going left.
All right, Zen0bian, our first runner here to break out of the inner sea at the 19-minute mark. We're going to find out what our Melmon town has become. And it's Lefane. Okay, so this is a turn-in.
It sure is, since we got that slab from the king earlier. And nothing here. Oh, wait, it's the crown.
Okay. Pretty convenient location for it. It'd be a little more convenient if we had that canoe to just kind of dock at the river there, but...
Yeah, it's oh, level 8 Fade. You hate to see that when you're running all mages.
They might get lucky and end up with a level 2 nuke or something like that. Who knows?
Very possible.
But if Elfland is not required and it's at the bottom of Lefane... that would feel bad.
It absolutely would. Yep, so Zen0bian, sadly, making the trek back through the inner sea to come back and go up to the Northwest Castle and talk to the kindly old king about his crown.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. I mean, when you're looking at high-level runs like this, you have to start like figuring out where are like, because this is basically similar routing that Cece's going to have to do too, unless she finds that canoe somewhere.
Ooh, the chimes. So he's got all of Sky open at this point.
Yeah, that feels real bad. All of Sea, all of Sky Mirage, and a level 9 party. So, where do you go if you're Zen0bian?
I go and check what the towns are in Crescent Lake and Onrak. Because if either of those is Elfland or Provoca, that's like, if it's Provoca, great, that's another key item check, and that's level 2 magic. If it's Elfland, that's level 3 and 4 magic.
Yeah, same. I would do the same thing. Towns are so important when it comes to, well, town knowledge is super important when it comes to town shuffle. And Sports Hefe calling for Volcano. Unfortunately, Volcano's off the table until we have a canoe.
Yep. Crab Cake's not bothering to check the level 8 magic. Figures if, probably not going to get the charges for it, doesn't care about it.
Talk to me about Rodless Earth. When would that be an option for you?
For me, Rodless Earth would have been an option right now if I had the Ruby.
Okay.
Because at the very least, I would go in and check the top floor. I don't know if I would go all the way through. Generally, I do... Oh, wow, those glare wolves are rough. But, werewolves, glare wolves. Anyway, yeah, I don't like to do Rodless Earth unless it's, like, the last thing I can do.
Yeah. What if I told you there's another hallmark of seeds that I typically roll, and it's a Rodless Earth type big required?
I'm not in any way surprised by that statement.
But we'll see. I mean, this could... With Town Shuffle, this could be any number of things. It all depends on where the towns are. If we have Gaia and Crescent Lake and Melmond and Honorak, and we have Provoca and Elfland locked behind the floater, this could be really tricky, or Crescent Lake for that matter.
Yeah, if our, levels 2 through 4 magic are locked behind the floater, that could be real rough.
Yeah, and we also want to start finding those towns with the key items like Crescent Lake and Provoca. Like, those become super important too. So Crescent Lake is Elfland, okay.
Alright, so no more key items, but we get tons of looks at magic. Fire 3 and Brack, that's some good stuff.
That's a pricey Fire 3.
Then we've got Fog 2 and Invis, I guess?
And a single target Invis is fine. That's basically an Invis 2 for a single person, with white and red having access to it.
Heal 3 and Exit at White Magic level 4, those are great pickups.
Yeah, both Red Mage learnable.
And Zen0bian down to 139 gold. And then we have Ice 2 as the, and I guess Hold?
Ice 2 is basically the only spell you're probably going to buy there.
Is Hold one of the power word spells? If so, it could have some marginal utility.
Hold is an AoE, if I remember right. Stop is the power word. Alright, let's sell some stuff. Oh, we don't have a whole lot to sell because we didn't do
the top
mermaid side.
Mermaids, yeah. Zen0bian hasn't been there yet, and Crab Cake's reset out of it.
Oh, thank you. Classic Gamer 76 clarifying. Hold is not a power word, it's single target. Stun is power word. Stop is the AoE. So, thank you.
Yeah, I knew one of those random paralyzed spells was a power word, I just never remember which one.
Yeah. Alright, Cece on her way to Crescent Lake. She will find Elfland.
Yep.
Zen0bian.
Elfland Lake.
A little bit ahead, but Cece with a little more knowledge on... She'll know where that white shirt is. She'll probably end up going back to the mermaids for that. Zen0bian having that loose cube on her, though. So... And we still don't know if that means... Until we find another loose item, we won't know if that canoe or floater were shuffled into the incentive pool.
That's correct, since both of those are, like we said, more likely to be loose items at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And we've still got an entire side of sea that they could be in. We've got all of sky that they could be in.
Yeah.
They've got most of Earth that they could be in.
Yeah, Rodless Earth has quite a bit of boxes. They're spread out, but quite a bit of boxes. Alright, so Zen0bian, I would imagine from here is going to make his last town check into Onrak and hope that it's Crescent Lake or Provoca, so he can get a key item, possibly get a canoe, and route in that waterfall while he's down there, and then ordeals.
Yeah, best case scenario would obviously be Provoca, since he'd also get access to level 2 magic.
Yeah.
Let's see, anything good in the Elfland armor shop? Not really.
Yep, and there's the upside to the level 3 Brack is we now have a strategy for dealing with Kraken.
Certainly do. You can always Bracken the Kraken, and it's also a strategy for Tiamat if we end up having to go into Sky.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where now Zen0bian might, and CC herself might feel a pull back to that early Oxyale, because it was right there in Vanilla Elfland, so, now we might... Like, especially if you're Zen0bian and you skipped all of it, you're just like, well, no, I bounced off those Nagas once, I'm not going back there. But now you have a strategy for dealing with, you have some more levels. I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to Elfland, but I still think the Onrak check is the most important thing to do right now. Knowledge, super important in this game.
Absolutely. Looks like Crab Cake's taking a couple of quick encounters to get a little more money, pick up some more magic here.
Mhm. And Zen0bian heading across the sea back to, looks like, yep, heading south. We're going to go to Onrak, so.
Yeah, and, you know, this is the play that both of us said we would make, so.
And chat talking about all the wonderful different things you could do with carry. Oh, one of my favorite strategies to do with carry is slow 2. Slow 2 has
yeah.
pretty good chance of hitting at her and Kraken. I think it has the same % chance to hit Kraken as Brack does. So if you don't have Brack, you can slow 2 the Kraken and drop him down to 1 hit. And it feels real good.
Oh, I can imagine. That sounds delicious.
And Will Bloodworth joins us in chat, calling for Trolls with Death Touch. If that happened, I missed it. So.
Yep, and apparently it did happen.
Uh-oh. So we've got Provoca and Melmond airship locked.
Oh, no. Wait, we don't have Melmond airship locked. We already been to Melmond.
Oh, right. Melmond with Provoca. So it's Gaia and Provoca that are airship locked. And there's our level 6 Nuke and Temper.
Ick. We were hoping to see those at a lower level, but there it is.
Alright, and there's some TNT. That's dynamite.
TNT, and that's gonna take us all the way back to the inner sea.
Which is fine. You know, maybe we do a Rodless Earth, maybe we route in that Onrak.
Yeah, that TNT...
Sea Shrine.
Between the TNT and Brack, that would probably draw me back to the inner sea enough to go do sea instead of going to sky.
Mm-hmm.
Proximity-wise, I might be tempted to try and do Mirage, but I just don't feel comfortable at this level.
No, I would prioritize fetch turn-ins over opening boxes here.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, you get that extra 5% XP, so that's less grinding you're doing.
And the Kaizokus with stun touch and glare.
Yeah, they're rude.
And Stinger, just to be a little bit more of a pain in the butt.
Yep. And I'm guessing they're unrunnable since Zen0bian's trying to kill him. Crabcake's getting the bad news about Temper and Nuke.
Yeah, Bong780 joining us. What is this draft? This draft is Empty Rainbow. Zen0bian opened with a Red Mage, CC countered with White Mage none, and Zen0bian closed it out with the Black Mage.
Will Bloodworth calling for a Kaizoku money grind.
Doubtful.
I think he's been playing a little too much solo vanilla.
Well, let's talk about solo vanilla. There's a good fight for you. 2 Ogres and Gur Ogres. That's a great early game fight.
Certainly is.
Ooh, and CC going for the Cubeless Mirage.
This is actually really, really good for crab cakes because, oh hey, there's a bottle.
So we know it's either left side Sea Shrine, Mirage, Sky, or Rodless Earth is our progression. So that's a lot of disparity.
It is. However, crab cakes routing this in now is really good for her because she's not gonna like come here later looking for the cube.
Yeah. But she's gonna open every other box along her way until she finds it. So.
True. But like just from a proximity routing perspective.
Yeah.
Immediately resets out after getting hit with cremate guards.
Bong780 asking, where's the cube? Zen0bian found the cube in the marsh basement.
Crabcake's got her canal in the top of marsh and reset out.
Mm-hmm. Zen0bian gonna head to Sea Shrine? Yep. This is talk about proximity routing. This is a prime example of it. So money and cabins. Not much doing here. Opal armor, that's good. That's good vendor armor.
Bad Men and Nightmares hitting hard, not too surprising.
Well, it's in their names. Alright, and here comes Zen0bian. So, CC's just got a few more boxes to open. Mirage 1, and it's cloth, and we got our money and opal armor back.
Exits out, heads up to greater than, less than to check the boxes here.
And the guards with cremate, just gonna dwindle our resources as we walk towards these 10 boxes.
They are quite good at that. That's a lot of whiz mummies.
That's a wonderful pack here for XP.
Yep, definitely worth casting a Fire 3 about.
Mm-hmm. And it's a shame we don't have something handy like a Harm 4 or even a Harm 3.
Or a Mage Staff.
Yeah, but Fire 3 will get the job done. To level 13.
Yeah, that's starting to get to be the point where you might be comfortable trying to do that early sea play.
Alright. Vampire's another candidate for the Fire 3 spell.
Yep, and Zen0bian gets up to Mermaid's, gonna get his white shirt shortly.
Alright, 10 boxes. What we got?
Loose crystal, okay.
Alright, so either the canoe or the floater is incentivized.
Yep.
The unfortunate thing about that being the crystal is that's going to be such a long boat ride to turn that in without the canoe.
Yeah, it's certainly not great, but you're gonna be going back to the inner sea anyways, because at this point you need to turn in that TNT still if you're crab cakes.
Yeah.
Those sandworms are also a great XP fight.
Yeah, the defense sort of thing is the real winner there. So we have defense and white shirt. CC knows where both are. We have found the vendor item. The vendor item is the loot for sale in Onrak, which is right here in Elfland. So CC headed back to the inner sea.
Looks like Zen0bian successfully exited with his loot off the mermaids.
Mm-hmm. So we have 2 of our 3 loose items found. Now it's just a matter of finding that 3rd one and whether or not it's going to be a troll placement.
Or if we even need the 3rd one.
We'll probably will.
I mean, probably, but you know, it's a possibility. It could be our, you know, one of our 3 bonk items, either the power bonk, the opal Cheerio, or the Thor hammer.
Yeah, whenever I find a loose fetch item, it almost never turns into something worthwhile. It's gonna just bait you, be like, oh, here's the herb. Okay, the herb. Oh, we got an adamant. Oh no, it turned into an opal bracelet. You know, and it's like opal bracelet's wonderful, but it
Looks
doesn't.
Like Crab Cakes is gonna do that crystal turn in first, just in case that turns into adamant, so she can route them both in when she goes to war to turn into TNT.
Will Bloodworth saying it has to turn into the canoe? It doesn't necessarily have to.
We still the canoe could still be loose in sea.
Yeah, this could turn into floater. And Reese pointing out, our wonderful tracker pointing out, canoe could also still be loose in sky, top of earth. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. She has to turn it in this way because without the canoe. With the canoe, it's one of my favorite checks to do right from Mirage, because you just dock right there at that river. I love it. And
Adamant. Well, it paid off, just like I said.
isn't it fun being psychic?
Runs in the family.
Yeah, let's see if this turns into the herb.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would put, then I mean, I think at that point she would definitely come back into sea and clear it out while she was there.
She might come back into sea and clear it while she's here anyway, especially since she got all those levels in Mirage.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Yoshi saying, 4-hammer incoming. 4-hammer incoming when you still haven't done C, not really that bad of a thing.
Yeah. It's fine. Alright, Cece, what do you got for us? I feel like every time I glance at Zen0bian's screen, he's just walking up this, like, promenade here in Sea Shrine. Like, I feel like he's making no progress, but we're getting there. Something is just chewing him up.
Hooray! There's the herb! You called it!
Alright. Now, this could... What would be the dumbest thing this could turn into other than the Thor Hammer?
Probably the Cheerio.
Yeah.
Like, technically it's great armor and everything, but...
I got you, Dr. Funkin. What if it turns into the Ruby? And then in the incentive in Titan's Trove is the Thor's Hammer, and the incentive on Sarda is the Opal Cheerio.
You're evil, and I love it, but you're evil.
I mean, at least it's a lot of experience boost we've got. Here we go, Sharknado floor. New stuff.
Oh, the unrunnable Gershark is with the big eye. Lovely.
Yeah, we gotta be mindful of that.
That crack shark.
Mm-hmm.
Crack shark, my least favorite species of shark. My favorite being the fox shark, also known as the thresher.
Yeah.
And that herb turns into the ruby!
Man, it's almost like I know how my practice seeds go, so I'm really good at anticipating them.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you already played this one. If this does turn out to be the Thor and the Opal, we are going to have you burned as a witch. I come from Massachusetts. We have a long history of that sort of thing.
Ooh,
Thunder
hyenas. Good lord. I saw Thunder in chat. I didn't know that they put them in the game already.
Heyo.
Alright. Let's see what the Titans got.
Titan's got an addiction for rubies. Will Bloodworth guaranteeing one of these is trash.
Cece, stop counter manipulating. I want to see what's in the box.
What's in the box, crab cakes? What's in the box?
John Doe wants to go ahead now.
Silver, pure, and the Cheerio. Well, we're 1 for 1.
I mean, Cheerio is the Opal Cheerio. It's a good find. You know, it's the best defensive mage armor that we're gonna get. So, yeah, that's awesome. That's a good find.
Will Bloodworth calling key on Sarda. Canoe.
Okay, so at the end of all of that is our progression. So, it felt good being psychic for a while.
Yeah, that was a good long run there. And it ended just before you were burned as a witch.
Okay, so incentive canoe from a loose crystal.
Yep, so we could still have a loose floater.
Mm-hmm.
considering chat hasn't yelled at us yet, I'm guessing Zen0bian has not found anything of worth on the Sharknado floor.
Yeah, I've been kind of going cross-eyed watching both at once, and it's just clearing out. Looks like he just found some money. Nothing even really worthwhile gear-wise. Yeah, now CC has basically the entire game laid before her with the exception of Gaia and Lefane. So be curious to see where she goes. I would imagine it looks like we're headed to Ordeals of Waterfall, the short little mini dungeons. And with Exit, those are very quick checks, so...
And relatively safe ones, depending on your spike tiles.
Yeah, and with Ice 3 in hand, and Fire 3, Waterfall will be pretty safe to clear. The only thing really getting in our way will be the mud goals, but should be okay. Ooh, there's a lobster wipe for Zen0bian.
Yeah, okay, so that might be why we keep seeing him going through that same hallway over and over, if lobsters are also brutal.
Yeah, lobsters are usually never fun.
They're always rough when I play a seed.
Yeah.
Picking up Nuke and Temper.
Yep. Solid black mage pickups. Level 6 white magic, pretty dumb.
Yeah,
Nothing
it's not
really,
great.
Yeah.
Zen0bian, once again, diving towards Kraken. This is a terrifyingly large amount of lobsters. Oh, they've got Poison Touch. And they hit hard.
They have, yeah, they're punching, they have 3 hits. Yeah, that'll... So, Zen0bian says, I've had enough of this place, let me leave. And with Chime and Cube, we may see him going to Mirage.
Crabcase getting the rare Gas Dragon encounter and running away from it.
So, that's the wonderful thing about the randomizer now. A few months ago, we had developer Meridian BC went in and fixed a bug that he accidentally put into the code where encounter 8s were not a part of the shuffled encounter. So you couldn't find them at all in the game. And with that fixed and shuffled encounter rarity turned on, we've been finding so many dragons, so many rare encounters. The Iron Goal is back. The Gas Ds are back. The Red Ds and Volcano are back. It's a wonderful time to be a rare encounter in Final Fantasy Randomizer.
It sure is. These nightmares are causing some poisonous dreams for Crabcakes right now.
And Classic Gamer 76 reminding me, don't forget the blue stakes. We did see one of those in the desert for CC. I think it was an orange palette swap though, but
she ran from it.
Yeah. Oh, we got an out of bounds bat and some palette swap Paralisks that look like they're Cockatrice's cousins.
Yeah, they're like one shade of blue away from just being Cockatrices.
Yeah, the Kaizogu is not friendly.
Not today. Those Paralisks also go down nice and easy, so they're a pretty decent level to take. Oh, heirs have glance. And here's
Robot
our
key
from the robot.
Hey, Pro Cape. And our other vendor sort, so hey, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, Pro Cape, a lot more necessary in a seed like this than usual, considering you've got big old squishy mages.
Alright, Zen0bian headed to the Mirage Tower, gonna get his loose crystal in the less than greater than room, and we'll be able to explore the Sky Palace. Those Gurpeeds look an awful lot like Peeds.
Sure do. Yeah, it's funny when the palette swapper does that.
Does Zeno have the firepower to get through Sky? I think he does in waves. Ice 3 will be kind of handy there. If we get Ice 3, Fire 3 between the Cerberus encounters and the Undead encounters through Mirage, should be fine. The biggest things we're going to have to worry about are those Badmen and the different Catmen and Man-Cats. But all of this to say, CC's clearing a lot of between the long fetch quest chains and clearing out Waterfall and shortly hereafter the Castle of Ordeals still has that disadvantage growing of when will she go back to Marsh. So Zen0bian may look a little behind right now, but with that cube in hand, isn't as far behind as one would think.
Yeah, he did lose a lot of time with beating his head against the wall of the Sea Shrine, but
Yeah.
the fact that he has more knowledge of the loose items does give him that advantage.
Yeah. So when he gets this this crystal here, he'll be in a much better place than CC was.
Speaking of palette swaps that look like the opposite, mummies and whiz mummies.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good first step encounter right there off the hard reset.
Definitely. Chimeras, as long as they don't roll too high on health, are worth a pretty penny of XP.
Mm-hmm. And with Ice 3, we should be able to possibly one round this fight if we get good rolls, but definitely 2 round it. So that's just a chunk of XP. Okay, so it wasn't off a hard reset, otherwise I would imagine he would have taken it again. But
now he's getting to meet the cremate guards, though he's at a much better level to deal with them than Crabcakes was.
Mm-hmm. It's fascinating that the route divergence from our runners has still yielded them the same amount of experience, that they're roughly the same level.
Yeah, that is kind of funny how it's worked out that way.
This game never fails to amaze me.
Oh, unrunnable man cats in the ordeals. That's fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just, you hate to see it, but we've seen a lot of trolly unrunnable encounters. So Mancat's just proving to be inconvenient more than a real threat here. All this wonderful fighter gear. First bog, Zeno finds the crystal. That's his second loose. Knows if he wants to gamble, now he could. With 2 loose items in his pocket, he's got that defense sword. And there's an ice sword for CC, so there's an upgrade for Rudy.
Absolutely. And yeah, he could gamble, and, like, it might pay off. We still don't know where the rod is, and that's the only item we don't know about at this point that is required to beat the game.
Yeah. I mean, it could be floater. We have vanilla floater and rods and Provoca. Like, there's still... Well, we saw that Ordeals was not required with the Thor hammer there. So... Feels
However,
bad.
at this point, we could still have a loose floater literally anywhere at this point, since we've got the canoe.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the key. It could be locked in TFC in the Sea Shrine. It could be locked in the bottom of Marsh.
Yeah.
It could be locked right here in Elfland.
And if CC is doing key locks, she may route in Marsh Bottom here.
That would actually be, like, possibly the best thing for her.
Goodbye, CC. That's not what she's doing.
Well, she might be swinging back around to do key locks, and she might park at the
True.
at the river system.
True.
After all, Northwest Castle's there.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're essentially just Rod from Go mode from the 10,000 foot perspective.
That's a really bad spike tile going up into sky, and Zen0bian says nuts to that.
Well, he's got his loose crystal, so... I don't imagine that he would skip Ordeals, so he'll also likely lose some time there.
Nope, we're not going to the bottom of Marsh.
Hey! 52-minute bridge boss. What a time to be alive.
Indeed. So we got a huge amount of key lock chests to check at the bottom of dwarves here.
Ooh, I like it. Zeno doing the backdoor provoke a check to backdoor provoke a dock to get to Matoya without that canoe.
Yeah,
So-
that's a nice little heads-up play.
Yeah, it will force him back to his boat. Well, I guess he could walk to Dwarf Cave from Matoya, so we might see like a 55-minute bridge boss from him if he walks to Dwarf Cave.
Speaking of Dwarf Cave, whole lot of money and a Zeus Gauntlet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think Crab Cakes just dropped? Maybe I saw that wrong. She can't have just dropped it, she was organizing her gear.
Doing all these key locks before Volcano, before Ice Cave. It's interesting.
I mean, as far as Crab Cakes knows, she's still got 2 loose out there, so
Yeah.
I get it. These are all free checks, and you might find some decent gear.
Yeah, it's just in my mind it's chest density and incentive locations versus 5 or 6 chest one-offs. So, and Zeno got his congratulations, you can keep walking ticket.
Yep. And Crab Cakes is going to check key lock Topher as well.
In case you forgot, the imp said rub.
So many imp wipes.
And yep, there's our 55-minute or 54-minute bridge boss.
There are sharks in Topher.
At least they're not the crack sharks.
No, they're just gaze sharks. Ooh, a ribbon. That's worthwhile.
And Gloomchew calling that in chat, so everybody's drinking that psychic Kool-Aid today. That
Yes.
is, in fact, our first ribbon, yeah.
And we'll take as many as we can get with a 3-mage party.
Mm-hmm. The mighty metric Batman is calling to burn the witch. Well, you gotta get in line, buddy. There's a lot of witches running around.
Absolutely.
I like Zeno taking the opportunity here to replenish his supplies, sell those katanas. He's sitting on a truck ton of money, and before walking over to Dwarf Cave. I love it.
Yeah, if he ends up finding that floater, he might find gold bracelets for sale for a really disgusting price in one of the last 2 towns and be able to buy a couple. Oh, we also had Wall at level 5
Yeah.
White Magic. I missed that earlier.
I caught the ruse, but I missed the bottom slots because they made the check really quick. Quadex, pretty good find.
Quadex and Cake I knew were the 2 good black magic spells.
Yeah. Now what are you gonna do, Zeno? You gotta walk all the way back to your boat anyway. Hooray. I don't feel like that was a very
It's a pretty sarcastic hooray.
it was not a heartfelt hooray. Heavy dose of cynicism with that hooray.
Yep.
Alright, okay, so you see routing in the back door to Ice Cave.
Makes sense.
I could almost hear Zen0bian in my head when he checked that. It's going, hooray.
Indeed.
Although Sports FA in chat might have the right of it for what he actually said. We still have just the tail remaining as our tail and power gauntlet.
Yeah, as non-progression items at this point.
Zen0bian back to his boat. Gets to make some awkward sailing.
Sad boat noises. Got an unrunnable undead party platter here in Ice Cave.
I had one mage. If it's
Yeah.
FFR's taught me anything, it just doesn't matter how low level the enemies are and how high level your spells are.
One survives.
One survives. Feels boat, man.
I love our chat, they're clever.
Yeah.
So for those of you who joined us in progress, we are 1 hour into Game 2 of Crab Cakes vs. Zen0bian in the second round of brackets for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring 2020 tournament. Crab Cakes is currently up 1-0, so if she wins tonight, this series will be over. But if Zen0bian wins, it will move on to a Game 3 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And Crab Cakes will move. If Crab Cakes wins, she would move on to face the winner of Sonnyrath and Cheesinator in their series, as the other runners in the Final Four. I'm not going to spoil right away because this is still a current round, and a race just happened last night, so if you haven't had a chance to watch that VOD between Spells App and Shadow Walker, you definitely should.
That was a crazy series.
But as we kind of have a little bit of a lull here as Cece's digging through ice and Zen0bian's cleaning up the fetch quest here, I do want to let folks know that we have a couple wonderful events happening on the horizon. We have the Duckling Derby, which is something that I've been super excited for with all these new people coming into the community. We're going to have a Duckling Derby, a tournament for all the newer players that have joined, kicking off probably in about 4 weeks or so. And then, or right around that same time, co-op. The return of co-op will happen. So the co-op tournament over the summer, looking to start probably sometime in mid-July, I would imagine. And throughout all of it, there is the FFR Iron Goal Heavy Metal Championship, which is getting ready to reboot into its Season 2, or Season 1, I think is what Gouda was calling it.
Yeah, we're in Season 0.5 right now.
Yeah, the pre-game, just kind of figuring out the kinks. So if any of that sounds interesting, if watching this game or you want to do more than watch this game, you want to ever get involved playing it, developing for it, you can always go to the website, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. On that website, there is a link to the Discord. You can get involved, and we'd love to have you hanging out with us.
I gotta step away for a moment. I'll be right back.
Sure thing. So, CC finds very fitting spike tile here. Pro Ring's a good pickup. So, Zen0bian gonna get his opal bracelet, get through the Titan, and pick up his canoe. CC getting closer to that incentivized icebox. There's that canoe for Zen0bian as CC finds dragon armor, which unfortunately isn't going to do much good for her, except maybe as a vendor item. Another pro ring, so 2 pro rings here is pretty good. Those pro rings, the best wrist equipment that these mages are going to be able to equip, offering protection from the death element while providing 8 absorb. Pretty good. All right, and it's tail. So, Ice Cave and ordeals not required. If Zen0bian routes this in a way that allows him to avoid those checks, he's going to be in a good spot. But let's see if he's going to be brave enough to do a Rodless Earth dive.
What did I miss? I heard you laughing through my headphones all the way in the kitchen.
Guess what was in an ice cave?
Without looking, I have to guess it was the tail, just from how much laughter there is.
Yep. Asher asking, have we seen the waterfall? Yes, we did. That's where CC dug up the key. So we are out of incentive locations. That floater is loose, and the rod or power... Wait, rod or power gauntlet could be in Provoca. And the other would be the bottle. So... And neither of those could be the floater. The floater, therefore, has to be loose. And Classic Gamer is correct. It could still be in TFC.
Could still be in Sky, since Zen0bian wasn't able to get past that spike tile.
Yeah. So floater literally could be anywhere. And it will just be straight up floater. We have found all of the fetch quests. So at least there's that, I guess. So Zen0bian headed to do the waterfall. He'll get his key, but this tells me that he will waste the time to do ordeals.
So, once Crab Cakes has cleared Volcano and probably Sea Shrine, do you think she checks the bottom of Marsh before doing Rodless Earth?
I hope so. I mean, I think, if anything, her finding loose floater here is going to be more of a problem. If she finds that floater before... Basically, if floater's not in Sky, it hurts her more, I think. Because then she will check Cardia, she'll do the towns, which we know won't have... Well, one will have the rod, but... and I guess she would be able to do all those overworld checks a lot quicker, but... Floater in Sky doesn't help Zen0bian until he goes to Sky. Like, he hasn't really pressed the advantage of finding that loose cube.
Those Sphinx have damage poison, that's rough.
And there's a second ribbon. That's a pretty good find. So she did also find 2 pro rings in Ice Cave, so it wasn't a total loss there.
No, not at all. Pro rings are fantastic.
What are you
Especially
eating?
when the fiance went out and got me a brown butter fritter.
Ooh, sounds delightful. I fixate on food.
I can't blame you. I cook as a hobby, so. Let's see if there's anything good in the hairpin chest.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
Both runners getting out of bounds. That. Both runners finding the Glanceers, and both runners getting their red mages turned to stone.
Not quite. Crab Cake's got her white mage turned to stone.
Oh, I thought her red mage... Yeah, because she's been running white mage up front. You're right. Alright, Zeno with his key. CC finding all the wonderful night gear between the dragon armor and ice, and now the X-Cal here.
Yeah, that'll be great for her. Oh, wait. Huh.
There's another ice sword. Zen0bian making his way to Castle of Ordeals.
Pick up his Thor hammer.
Worms with stone touch. That's exciting.
Zen0bian taking down a zombie dragon. Oh,
And there's
takes third Wibbin.
sounded like you said Wibbin.
I did. I screwed up there.
It's okay.
Happens to some of us.
Zombies and trolls reminding Zen0bian that the trolls have death touch. Red giants have glance. So yikes.
Whew. Crabcase getting the lucky ambush on those undead.
So other than a pair of ribbons, not much else here in Volcano, not to discount the importance of 2 ribbons. But
Hasn't even been a good spike tile.
exactly. We just found a bunch of undead.
Oh, there's an iron goal.
We were just talking about the iron goal.
Ooh, he rolled real low health. And there's our loose floater. Oh dear.
Oh, good God. All right, so there's the seed laid out for us. Now, Gaia will either be vanilla or in Lefane. That bottle will either turn into the rod or the power gauntlet, and the pirates and Provoca will have the rod or the power gauntlet.
Yep. And now we got a carry pull on Crab. Oh god, Crab.
And
Carry's hitting hard.
Rudy is fast asleep.
Carry hit Rudy so hard, my cat started screaming about it.
Oh no. Good night, Mage. Here comes. It looks like Carrie is punch happy. So Zoe in a good spot here. And we got a Thor hammer, so this will happen. It'll just be slow. We just gotta watch out for those crits from Carrie.
Yeah, if Carry doesn't crit, then Zoe might take this.
And we got lucky that at least one of those nukes got off, so and it did a pretty good amount of damage. So chunked into Carrie, and now we just chip away.
Chip, chip, chip damage. Zen0bian gets his Thor hammer, is disappointed.
Hey, there he goes. Chipped away, and Carrie falls to pieces.
And the whole party's back up like nothing ever happened.
And the hour and 11-minute mark, we got an orblet. We're doing it.
Orb.
Doing it.
Yeah, we are. And Crabcake's gonna go turn in that floater, probably go class promote, and check the chests in Cardia.
Mm-hmm. And start scratching her head, wondering where's that cube. But and oh, we might see her full clear Earth.
Ooh, yeah, because she'll pick up the rod now.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, doing Earth before the bottom of Marsh makes more sense from a chest density perspective.
Mm-hmm. Well, TFC could have I think the only thing it could have is Masa, I think, of interest. Or maybe like a black shirt would be nice with this party.
Yeah, those are like the only two things it could possibly be at this point that are worthwhile finds.
Yeah. And here comes Xeno's key-locked checks. Alright. Hour 13 minutes. CC's in the air. Gonna go right for Bahamut.
Yeah, I kind of expect that at this point. There's a lot of chests to check for free, and you can promote, so whatever magic you were worried about that's locked will no longer be.
Yeah. And nothing. Cardiograss.
Having exit when talking to Bahamut is one of the nicest feelings after having to walk in and walk out so many times as a kid.
Good practice for walking down and walking up. All that beautiful fighter gear just thrown away.
Donated to the Dragon King
Mm-hmm.
in exchange for a class promotion.
So Xeno continues these keylock checks into TOF. He will get his first ribbon and his second and third when he goes to Volcano. Hey,
Oh,
there's
that.
Yep.
There it is. So
Perfect time to find it too.
So yeah, I mean, at this point, once she goes back and gets her white shirt again, she'll have all the gear she could possibly want.
Yeah. If she goes back to Mermaid side,
That's a good point. She may not, because I mean, at this it's going to depend on how much she wants those free casts of Invis too.
yeah, because well, here comes Zen0bian doing the same exact routing that CC did to go into the ice cave. He will be rewarded with a pair of pro rings and a tail.
Yeah, Zen0bian's big advantage is that when he finally does get to the chest on the carry floor, is that he'll know he doesn't have to check chests anymore. And there's a Masa for crab cakes in Cardia, so the Cardia checks definitely worthwhile, though not what she was looking for necessarily.
She equips it on the White Wizard. Love it. Those Minochi 85 White Samurai strats. White Mage Tank. Let's go.
And here's Provoca. Let's see what we got for level 2 magics.
Cure 3, Heal 2. That's good. Those are pretty nice spells to have.
Those are decent, you know, for keeping you from using all your heal pots. And absolutely nothing of worth in black magic.
Yep, but we can pick up Cure 3 and Heal 2. So, had Provoca been in its vanilla location, this would have been an amazing start for those red wizards or red mages.
Definitely. Yeah, it would have been a great start for the white casters entirely.
Yeah.
We got some pretty pink pirates who are going down to a Thor hammer.
And there's
our rod. So, we're in no mode now. We know where everything is.
Bottle is definitely, and there's our gold bracelets at max price and pro rings for like 27k or 23,000. Wow.
Crab Cake doesn't care. She got all the money in the world.
Yeah.
May as well.
Yeah, it's just awesome. So yeah, Power Gauntlet gonna be here in the bottle from Gaia, but
Which, not the cube that Crab Cakes is looking for, but she'll be happy to have it, because it's gonna be really useful for taking on Fiends and Temple of Fiends Revisited.
I just saw the message in the SRL room from Zen0bian thanking me for how wonderful this seed has been. He sent that message almost half an hour ago, and just now saw it. He said, "Thanks, Kale. This is awesome."
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
Uh-huh. The point is that he thanked me. It's important to be
Grateful for the gifts you're giving.
Yeah.
And this seed truly is the gift that keeps on giving. To us as commentators, and to the folks in chat watching live with us.
Alright. CC into Gaia, Lefane. We got Bane and Lock 2. Yeah, let's go back and pick that Lock 2 up. And we've got Cure 4. Wonderful. Well, at least we got a white mage.
Indeed.
Let's sell that Excal for almost that ice sword is almost worth more than the Excal.
That's amazing.
Lackey's asking the real questions. What level does the white mage or the white wizard get extra Masa swings? That's where's like a real FFR player? They'll answer it for you in chat.
Seriously.
Level 8 warp. I guess it had to have been. We've been watching the spells and just, yeah. Oh boy.
I'm sure that item, the answer to that question is a pinned comment somewhere in the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord.
I would imagine.
So if you're curious, come join the Discord and you can find that info.
I would imagine it's probably like low 30s, like 32-ish. They probably get like 4th swing.
Yeah, something
Or
like
maybe
that.
like 42, they get a 5th swing, if that. Or might be 3rd and 4th. 3rd being in like the low 30s, 4th being in the 40s. Yeah, that's what Burt Reynolds is guessing, or... Yeah, I would imagine 3rd swing's probably around 29 to 32. 4th swing might be 40, 42, somewhere in that area, so not likely to see it. Because we're not even checking spike tiles. I don't know where we even saw a good grind tile.
A good grind tile's lurking in Earth Cave. I'm just kidding, there are no good grind tiles here.
Bert's asking me questions like I play this game. I don't know if white mage hit growth is 1%. I don't even know what the implications of that would be. That is true. Vonk780 is pointing out that we do have that paper iron goal hanging out.
That's a really good point that we completely skipped over in our thinking about grind tiles.
But do you walk all the way back to through the bottom of Volcano to get there?
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's so out of the way as a grind tile. Zen0bian finding that second pro ring. And Crab Cakes going back to C.
Maybe we go back to Mermaid side.
Yeah, maybe. We're definitely doing left side first. She might go back to Mermaid simply because she's got the key and hasn't checked TFC yet.
Alright, Zen0bian, do yourself a favor and go to Volcano. 2 ribbons and loose floater. Please don't go back to your boat.
Yeah, just from a routing perspective, that would make sense. And, like, with everything that he's checked, that's going to be the most chest-dense area to go.
Oh, there's a little... Oh, okay, he's just burning counters. I thought there were seeing a little bit of tilt on...
There we go, yeah.
Inside. Alright.
Making the correct play, heading to the Volk. She's gonna get the bad news that there is nothing all the way to Kraken.
The upside for Xeno here is once he gets through Volcano, he's going to full clear it. So he's going to spend about probably 8 to 10 minutes here. He will have all of the ribbons. Well, he'll have 2. He didn't. Did he go to TOF to do key locks?
I'm not 100%. I
I'd
didn't
have
see
to
it.
see his item screen, his gear screen again, and see if he's got 2 ribbons now. So he'll have 2 ribbons and
all the knowledge of lose.
Yeah, he'll be in essentially no mode at that point. So
Well, that black shirt is going to put in work against the waters down here.
Mm-hmm. And the bigger questions become: does he check Cardia? Does he check Cardia really? Because that's black shirt and Masa.
Yeah, it's a tough call. He might, simply because like he hasn't found the Sun Sword, so he doesn't have like the more end game item yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does have the defense sword, which is a viable in-game weapon for a knight, but not really ideal for a red mage or red wizard.
Certainly not what you're hoping for.
Yeah.
Grey Wolves finally starting to run away from crab cakes at this point.
Hey, a mage stick. It's a pretty good caster item distribution. We found Thor. Well, obviously we found Zeus Gauntlet pretty early. What else did we get? We had the
we got the Thor hammer.
The Thor hammer.
Black shirt.
Mm-hmm. Light axe I saw on CC screen, so gotta love having those, even with an all mage party. Anything to conserve those spell charges.
If anything, I prefer like having a few caster items in an all mage party, just so that on weaker encounters I can get away with not casting. Like I can get away with not casting if if I've got a melee character by hitting things. I don't have that option so much with an all mage party. Crabcake's having a little trouble running away from that Sea Snake and Sea Troll party, but manages to do it anyway. In round 2. God, those Grey Sharks rolled real high on health, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Crabcakes has done a great job of picking up XP as she's gone. She's already level 23.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about Sea Shrine, that for taking fights as you go, like to get that sort of walking grind, Sea Shrine just as good as Mirage Sky if you've got the spells and the ability to get through those encounters. There's a lot of good XP in the Sea Shrine.
Good thing Ruse got off before Kraken's first punch, because otherwise Zoe probably wouldn't have survived. Meanwhile, we are trying to Bracken the Kraken, and it's not been going well so far.
Ooh, Kraken with the damage poison.
Would be much scarier if we weren't equipped with a bunch of ribbons. And Blaze. That's some spicy calamari.
Yeah, Kraken sampling from the Vanilla Fiend's greatest hits skill pool.
Finally broken into pieces, and Crab Cakes lights her second orb.
Yep, so 2 orbs down, and Zeno about to get his 3rd loose item here in the volcano. And here comes the full clear of Earth. Which after this, she's only got nowhere to go but marsh. So Zen0bian gonna have to really step on it here.
Yeah, though Zen0bian is going to have the benefit of being able to just bum rush the heck out of this Earth Cave. Oh hey, Crab Cakes found Vorpal.
And both of our runners finding Wiz Ogres with Blaze near simultaneously on stream.
And that Black Mage went down, but that's a lot of XP on Zen0bian's other 2 casters. And he finally picks up his floater.
Okay, so Zen0bian essentially go mode. Provoca being in Gaia is optimal here.
Yep.
That's
gonna be like a first check.
Yeah, and then probably from there down to Mirage, finish that out.
Well, from there probably over to promote.
Yeah. We'll see. There's not really an advantage to promoting for this party unless like you're buying spells. So
he's got that white shirt that he'd be able to equip that he can't before promotion.
Yeah. Question from Ralphie in the chat. Where was Cube loose in the bottom of Marsh? Zen0bian found it very early on. CC still hunting.
Blazing Wiz Ogres, giving Crab Cakes the business. Crab Cakes not particularly caring because she got 3 ribbons.
Right, I understand. Classic Gamer pointing out the different things that we can equip with promotion. I agree, but I don't think it's not something I would do before routing in Mirage Sky. Like that's right there. Like this party can get through Mirage Sky. So go do that and then promote. Like it's not like the Thief or Fighter where we're losing out on spell charges by taking fights and leveling up before we promote. But yeah, I would definitely do it, just not right away as Zeno lights his first orb after a sort of harrowing fight there, just like CC with Carrie taking out the red mage.
Right away, yeah. Meanwhile, Crab Cakes was getting bat blocked trying to check those chests.
But Zeno being able to basically go mode everything now and not open any boxes is going to be pretty good as long as he checks the Cardia Forest. Like the other Cardias were fine. Like we can kind of skip those, but Cardia Forest, the big one. Hey, Sun Sword, that's pretty good. So CC, the unintended consequence of full clearing is we're going to get all that wonderful gear that exists in this game.
Yeah, gear that Zen0bian is never going to see.
Yeah. Alright. As predicted, first stop Provoca. Well, Gaia, it just happened to be Provoca. Is going to get his wonderful level 2 white magic news and learn that level 2 black magic is kind of less than ideal.
Pants. Yes.
Question from Boogity Boo: did CC already check Mirage for the cube? Yes, she did. And of course, that's the Earth tile. Blazing Whiz Ogres.
Yep. Just a real mean tile. And they're ambushy.
So Zeno going to grab his rod here and learn that if he wants the power bunk, he's just got to fly to Lefane. I would imagine he'll want it with the red locked temper or white locked temper. Because that's the other thing with regard to being able to equip the white shirt and black shirt. Like, we have 2 ribbons and we have gold bracelets. So, especially with Zen0bian picking them up here. So,
Yep.
white shirt and black shirt don't really offer much when we've got that. Now, Zeno will have more use of the black shirt with only having 2 ribbons. That black shirt will give his black wizard resistance to time magic and
And ice.
spells. Yeah, but the spell zap, so super scary spell in Topher.
He doesn't have to worry about Spell Zap right now. Spell Zap had a series against Shadow Walker this week.
Spoilers.
I didn't give any spoilers. I just said they had a series. I didn't say who won.
There's those trolls with Death Touch.
He's got to worry about Crab Cake's protection right now, not Spell Zap protection.
Well, CC's 3 boxes away from having the knowledge that that cube is either in Marsh or it's in TFC like it was in that last chance qualifier.
Yeah. I have to imagine from a chest density perspective, she'll do Mars first.
Yeah. And did Zen0bian just reset out of the power bunk check?
Maybe.
I think he got tired of taking fights walking back to his airship and just said, no, I don't want this power gauntlet that bad. So a little bit of a tilt, a little bit of frustration maybe showing on Zen0bian's side. And not checking the Cardias, so bad news bears. Now we're promoted. Now we'll make the walk. Maybe after seeing the magic, he didn't want to have to walk back down here to get that Cure 4. So, smart play. As CC takes on Lich, throwing Masa swings and nukes.
A little bit of Sun Sword, a little bit of Dead Lich.
So there's 3 orbs for CC, and she's got TFC or Marsh to go to.
This is Marsh.
Yeah. Alright. Zen0bian, time to hurry up, buddy. This is that scene in Jurassic Park. Must go faster. Must go faster.
Yeah, because, I mean, at this point, Zen0bian's still down 2 orbs to Crab Cakes, and Crab Cakes is about to go mode Sky.
Yep, and she's has a gear advantage too with the Masa and the 3rd ribbon. So short of an RNG nightmare in Topher, CC's in a pretty strong position here.
Sure seems like it. Despite having left that cube down here since the beginning of the game and having to full clear everything. But yeah, it does look like Zen0bian went ahead and promoted before going to Sky.
Yeah, I think it's because he wanted to buy the magic that was here in Gaia. So
that makes sense too. Gesundheit?
Sorry, I was clearing my throat.
Oh, okay.
I thought I'd moved the mic back. My bad.
No worries.
Alright, CC, cube in hand. Still gonna open some boxes. I'm maybe just checking the spike tile down here.
Yeah, I can see that. With an all-mage party, you might want to actually take a little bit of a grind when normally you wouldn't, if you're a runner like Crab Cakes.
Alright, so CC, our first runner into go mode, and CC's going. She goes. No one really goes faster than she does. So let's see what she does here.
Goes on some pink sandwiches.
Yeah, I would say CC's probably a deep Topher wipe ahead at this point. Considering that both of our runners basically holding hands here in Mirage. Zen0bian will still have to double back to do Sea Shrine, which is pretty quick. Sea Shrine's a pretty quick one to do when you're in go mode, and Earth Cave isn't terrible, but it's probably one of the slower dungeons to do.
Yeah, there's never a good time to do Earth. There's just better times to do Earth.
Yeah.
Motosaurus expressing some incredulity that Crabcakes was able to take the lead back. Zen0bian did have a pretty bad brick wall early in the seed with trying to take care of Sea Shrine.
Yeah, he probably lost 8 minutes there on that tough wipe on the bottom of left side Sea Shrine, because if he hadn't taken that wipe, he'd probably be a little bit ahead levels wise, and he would have that water orb lit already. So, but he would still more than likely have the Earth Cave still ahead of him. But it's hard. It's always hard to gauge when you take a wipe early on how that sort of ripples out.
The other big time loss was doing Mirage, wiping on the spike tile, and then leaving Sky for later.
Yeah.
And clearly still doesn't feel comfortable with his gear because he's still checking chests.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking probably for a sword. And we know that Vorpal is not here. We know that the Masa is not here. So...
yeah, everything he could want is not in a place where he's likely to check for it.
Yeah. Vorpal, top floor of Earth, and which he might get. He might get that. Masa sitting there in Cardia. Feels bad.
Those are some healthy Wizzahogs standing up to that nuke and that Ice 3.
Alright. Zeno, you gotta go. We got synchronicity.
Yep, Crabcake has officially passed.
That is correct, Grickly Puff. Zeno went to the Cardias to promote, but did not open any of the boxes there. And level 26 now for CC.
Yep, not a bad level to be at, though maybe a little lower than I would feel comfortable with on an all-mage party.
The upside is that he is at least taking these fights. because this is one of the best places in the game to get experience. And with this party, you're gonna need all the experience you can get. But we got a teleporter maze here for Cece, so she's very close to that Bridge of Destiny. See a couple Bless RNGs are out there in chat, so if we want to see a war mech, get those Bless RNGs out there.
Zen0bian's starting to run away from eye fights. Unless the eye had something nasty, that seems like a fight I would want to take every time.
Yeah, the eye's real good experience. It's a pale nacho for CC.
Must have queso blanco on it. Even more queso blanco nacho. Liked it so much, she got a double order.
Man, I haven't had nachos in a long time.
I had them a couple of weeks ago, actually. Got some corn tortillas, cut them up and deep fried them myself. It was a good time.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Put some homemade pickled jalapenos on them. It was a good time.
Sounds good.
I recommend it. Queso Blanco, Will Bloodworth's favorite classic movie. And Crabcakes makes it across the Bridge of Destiny with no Warmex and is taking on Tiamat. Let's see what the Dragon Queen's got for us today.
Who knows?
Just falls apart instantly. And with that, at an hour and 45 and about 35 seconds, Crabcakes got all 4 orbs lit.
Tiamat's been through a lot lately. She just falls to pieces. It's an emotional sort of roller coaster.
Yeah, she's not handling the breakup with Bahamut very well.
It's awkward. Bahamut's brother. If you stick with the canonical D&D lore, of course.
I could never remember which it was.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I read the lore in my AD&D manuals.
Some Game of Thrones level relationships. It's a show nobody really talks about anymore.
Right?
Alright, Zen0bian, full cleared Sky, and probably will leave his Sky membership card in that room and say, never coming back here. As Sky does not pay out, and CC gonna go look for some spike tiles.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like I said, this is a level that, like, while Crabcakes is a much better player than I am, like, I would not feel comfortable going into Topher at this level.
So nothing in Northwest. You can check the Hall of Giants. Yes, indeed.
Ragnarok, it's pretty rude to call Tia revolting. All dragons are beautiful.
Alright. Xeno approaching that Bridge of Destiny. CC getting the information that that best spike tile is...
way deep into Volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like she's gonna say nuts to that and just go right into the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Yep.
And so at 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 50 seconds, Crabcakes is the first of our runners to enter the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Xeno's on a different encounter table coming onto the Bridge of Destiny, so where are my
Yeah.
plus RNGs at?
Classic Gamer's got a few of them there for us.
And there's the hero run. So Xeno gets across. See if he gets the 1 round brack off. Nope.
Unrunnable
Yeah.
Whiz Vamp
Yeah.
zombie dragon fight here.
So Xeno sparks his second orb as T is broken into pieces.
Whiz Vamp's got a ton of health this seed. Not even a good spike tile here at the Temple of Fiends, just some kitty cats. Crabcakes likes seeing cats so much, he went ahead and stepped on it again.
The rare CC misstep.
No, this looks like it was on purpose.
Taking double saber tease?
Well, because she's stepped out of that room entirely.
Interesting. To run from it.
Yeah. Well, she I guess the misstep was coming. Well, she went further in to unlock the loot lock, and then stepped back out here to do a grind.
Okay. Yep. I was looking at Xeno's screen. I thought that she had gone through the loot plate. Alright, so yep, we're going to grind here on the 3rd floor of Temple of Fiends. Xeno still just being reminded of how terrible Sea Shrine can be.
Yeah, he's like the late 20s in his levels, and it's still giving him the business. Yeah, Badman also rolled with a whole lot of HP.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where Crabcakes is like, nope, not taking this encounter anymore. Having a real tough time running from it, though. Ooh, interesting. Looks like she's going down to a 2-person party for whatever grind she's gonna do.
Xeno's still opening boxes. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, especially since we know exactly where what he wants is.
Mm-hmm. His levels are starting to look pretty good, though.
Yeah, they certainly are. He's done a very good job of just picking up XP as he goes. Meanwhile, Crabcake's getting a gigantic pack of slimes.
Gotta love it.
Yep, that'll be worth a boatload of XP for those 2 party members.
Zeno's still looking for gear, more likely than not, Jonathan Yoshi. Alright, that was enough. We got over 400, so time to do the thing. Waters with Afer.
I wasn't planning to cast fur on them in the first place.
Doubling down on that fire resistance. Yep, and found where he wants to grind.
Yeah, big old pack of waters that are going down fairly easily isn't bad. Level 29 is where Crabcakes has decided to start diving Topher, so his levels are definitely looking great once he decides it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Crabcakes once again passed the black velvet poster kitty cats.
It's a very nice palette on those Frost Wolves and Frost Giants, like that teal color.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool color you don't really see in the game. Oh, Frosty's had Stun Touch. That's fun. Oof, unrunnable rock and mud goal fight.
Well, we've got a handful of emergency nukes, and it looks like CC's going to break the glass on one of them.
Luckily, that moss is going to help clean up what doesn't die to nuke.
Oh boy.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we're going to preserve the nukes and just spread out the melee damage.
Oh, cool, they've got Brack.
Well, that's a bummer.
Luckily, we've got enough ribbons that it doesn't matter too much, unless a 3 out of 256 crit happens.
Here we go. Cherry Pop-Tart.
Crabcakes disrespecting Lich 2, not even bothering to heal up before the fight, and clearly the correct decision since he had like under 300 health.
Oh, if only Lich could be hit with Quad X.
If
So many
only.
times, I'm sure that Lich would just be Quad Xable. And Xeno's still grinding these waters.
Yeah, Ragnarok had mentioned that since he hasn't seen a dot done from Crabcakes yet, he's probably figuring that Temple of Fiends Revisit is nasty. He's gonna need this grind.
Yeah.
Little does he know, Crabcakes full cleared basically the whole game, so he could have been going in just about the same time as her.
And nothing too spooky scary that necessarily would have required a grind. We'll see once we get through carry.
So we're going defense, invis 2, fast, carry hits for 190, back rowing the Black Mage. Black Mage survives, no problem. Block 2 going out, along with invis 1. And now we're going to take a test swing.
Cheeky rub.
5 hits, 516. Yeah, I think we're good to start swinging. 3 hits, 227 from the White Mage as well. I don't think Harry's long for this world. Well, she's still kicking. No more cheeky rubs. She wasn't happy with that, but Carry goes down pretty seamlessly. And since we got plenty of casts of life too, not a big deal.
Oh, I love it. We might see a simultaneous Kraken Bowl.
Yeah, just, you know, not the same Kraken.
Yeah.
All these unrunnable fights are also beefing Crab Cakes up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, the bad thing is if she gets beefed up too much and still wipes on Kraken or Tia, she's going to lose any of these levels that she's got down here.
Absolutely, yeah. That could be a real game changer for where Zen0bian's at.
Alright, Zeno hits evasion cap on his red wizard. Brack's third Brack in a row, misses. Here comes Brack number 4. Misses. Brack number 5. Misses. Uh-oh, there's that damage poison.
Yeah, I think Crab Cakes also had a lot of trouble bracketing the Kraken earlier.
Brack 6 miss. Brack 7 miss. Critical hit for Kraken. Brack 8 misses.
Brack 9 also missing. We're out of Bracks on going into nukes on the Black Mage.
Brack 10 misses.
And 11
misses. And there's our... Oh boy. This is disastrous if Zen0bian does not get through this fight.
And he doesn't. Ugh.
He just lost that grind.
Yep.
Yeah, get those Fs in chat for Zeno. Wow. Oh, 10 Bracks.
Yeah, that's just awful luck.
Alright, CC on Kraken 2, firing off nukes and swings here. And easy come, easy go for Kraken 2. So nothing super scary. Just a lot of mild inconveniences here in Topher for CC.
Yeah, that's pretty much the worst you could say about this Topher. It's been a mild inconvenience.
Chat's all sharing their experiences, having RNG break their way, or not break their way. Alright, let's see what Tia 2 is gonna do. So, round of prep. We're gonna lock, we're gonna defense sword, and we're gonna invis 2.
A solid start.
Yep, and we even get the Alpha Strike. So Tiamat only punches for 44 on the Black Wizard. Now we're going to fast up Rudy, and we're going to keep those defensive strats pumping as Rudy near evasion cap.
And with how little Tia was hitting for, I'm not even sure we care too much about hitting the evasion cap at this point.
We got to be careful, though, because Tia's chipping us into nuke range. And if she's baiting us here...
Good point.
And there's the damage poison. So Tia not with that punch-happy script after all.
Yep, and Crab Cake's throwing out that heal 3 just in case.
Okay, we're doing some damage. We're about 800 damage in, approaching vanilla HP for Tia 2. And we're going to throw out a well-informed Quad X. This could be enough. Ooh, especially after an 800 damage swing.
Yep, that'll do it. Nice.
Wonderful turn order there for CC.
Those sorcerers were just as scared of Crab Cakes as she was of them.
And onto the Chaos floor. 2 hours, 4 minutes. CC gonna pull Chaos as Zeno is gonna grit his teeth and try to break this Kraken into pieces for the 11th time.
No, we got 11 before.
I thought it was
12th time.
Yeah. 4 hit lobsters might say otherwise. Here comes Invis 2, so CC gonna prep this round again. As Rudy gets halfway to evasion cap, fast it up.
Chaos gives us a free round by casting stun and having it do nothing. And some nuclear, you know. Just
Keep
a casual nuclear. Likes to have his food cooked in the microwave, we get it.
Brack's still missing for Zeno. Chaos is... Well, Rudy at evasion cap, or 5 stacks thereof. And firing off the lock 2s with the Black Wizard, so gonna get our money's worth out of those spells.
Yeah, considering there's only 1 temper left, not surprising that, and we're casting that now, but lock 2s basically are, you know, surrogate temper at this point.
I believe that was 16 Bracks for Zeno.
1 out of 17, according to Thundercloud.
Oh boy. But he lights his water orb and heads to the Earth Cave. Chaos still hasn't shown anything too spooky other than that nuclear.
Nope, and we just cast fast on the white mage. So 8 hits for 590, so we're doing pretty good damage with Rudy. Cheeky rub on Chaos, does not do anything.
Yep, but Mage has got nothing else to do, so... And there's your Vorpal. There's your endgame weapon, Zeno. Alright, 8 hit, 661.
There it is.
And nearly immediately as CC finishes Chaos, Zeno has withdrew from the race. So get those GGs in chat for both Crabcakes and Zen0bian concluding his tournament run here tonight. Heck of a runner. Let's see if he wants to come in here and yell at me.
Crabcake's finishing with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 41 seconds.
And Zen0bian has declined the interview. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to talk to me either after that. Dr. Funkin, this was a lot of fun. We won't have any of our runners to talk to about this, so what are your final thoughts on this seed?
As a viewer and a commentator, I could not have asked for anything more.
That was a brutal way for it to end for Zen0bian, and CC, well-earned win there. This was quite a scene to watch, like you said. Thank you so much for doing comms with me. Thank you to Gouda for doing the tracking, to Reese for doing Gouda for restreaming, Reese for tracking, and everybody for coming out and watching. So that we have, and with that race now, we have 3 of our final 4 for the spring tournament decided. So Sony Wrath and Cheesenator are our last 2 to duke it out in this round of 8. But
Yep.
like we were talking about earlier, if you're interested in joining and learning this game and learning how to race, we do have a new player tournament coming up in about 4 weeks. The Duckling Boot Camp is kicking off, so if you want to come in and learn this game, you can join the Discord. You can find that link on the FinalFantasyRandomizer.com website. If you want to participate in the co-op tournament coming up, there's no other better way to learn the game than join the server and hook up with one of these veterans that are dirtling around. Ask them to help you out. I'm sure one of them will throw you in the truck and teach you this game, and you'll have yourself a fancy new co-op partner. There's a lot of stuff happening this summer, so make sure you sign up, join up, have fun with us. I'm tired.
Yep, we'd all love to see you. Please, everyone, follow our runners. They put on an amazing show for you tonight. Please follow the Randomania family of channels. Please follow Caleb, my co-commentator. Please follow our tracker, Reese Wolf, and our restreamer, Gouda. Other than that, it's been a pleasure commentating with you, Caleb, and I hope you all have a good night.